This video has it all. My trip to Poland where I finally got to meet Skrillex, the answers to all your questions about why I'm leaving YouTube, and if I'll be deleting all my videos, something exclusive I've worked on for a year, and also the worst memes and questions you sent me, starting with this one. How do you envision your funeral? Hopefully dead. You make my toes throb. Thank you, Scooby-Doo gummy vitamin something. That was not a question. Can I come live in your mansion? I don't have the mansion anymore. Do you know how expensive it is to keep up 25 rooms? Very. It was 1 year of fun, depression, where I quickly realized I wanted to downsize, especially after spending 95% of the time in one room, which also happened to be where I had my computer. I spent 5 years living in my house, but I think that's coming to an end too. I'm moving back into the city to my tiny apartment, and that's why I'm also renting this tiny music studio office room. I used it because I had drums and the grand piano and stuff, and that doesn't really work in a tiny apartment. I've tried. But now in my everyday life, I pretty much just need one room for my computer and maybe a synth, except I feel bad for Ronald. You're an inspiration to bald men everywhere. Who is your favorite historical bald figure? Squeak.
It's not it isn't a bit or anything. I'm gonna turn off GTS for this. I don't know how to talk to you guys about this. I just want to say, recently on stream, people have been treating me pretty poorly, and I don't want to be your punching bag anymore. So I just want to let you know, like, a lot of people say I ask for it, and I seriously don't. Genuinely, it's like actually getting to the point where it's a little ridiculous.
Would you implant an brain-compute interface? I wish I had my cup of Legos, so I got. Someone on Tumblr had a dream about me. Seth Everman made weekly YouTube videos where he held a cup full of ice chunks and answered questions. He would shake the cup instead of answering whenever there was a dumb question. My freezer's broken and the store doesn't sell ice. I have this cup full of Legos because I bought 5 kilograms of Lego for no reason. I got the chance to meet Skrillex in person. I'm not gonna name any names because of privacy reasons and I haven't asked them, but a very generous friend flew me out to Poland. So first I got picked up from my house in this super fancy car where I could even fit my legs for the first time ever in any car ever. I could fit my legs on the airplane as well. First time ever. For some reason we flew over Salt Lake City. The hotel was crazy too. I had an entire living room next to the bedroom. Of course I had some champagne and fruit waiting for me as well. And then it was time to go to Stadion Śląski in Chorzów, and there he was. Skrillex. And my friend very kindly introduced me to Skrillex, and we got to talk for a little while. And I told him about how my final paper in high school was about his song Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites.
Yes! Oh my god!
And he basically said, "Oh, cool, I have to go now." Now, we got to talk and I was relatively normal and definitely not awkward. But then he actually had to go play another gig in Barcelona, so he left like very quickly. The rest of the night is a blur, but I remember meeting Casey Fry and this super cool Swedish music producer called Varg, who turned out to be like a super nice guy. And then I woke up the next morning, and that's not even all that trip had in store. Which European country do you feel most neutral towards? I'm gonna say Slovenia. Do it, fart. What are some artists' soundtracks you've been enjoying lately? I've been listening to Drake. Yeah. I need to like get back to therapy. Very fast. Why are you quitting YouTube? I could talk about this decision for a really long time, but I'll try to keep it as short as possible, which will be really, really long. My goal was always to become a YouTuber ever since I saw Smosh in 2006. And the idea was very similar to most people's ideas of success, which is to be my own boss, which in turn would lead to some sort of freedom. But in reality, it just put me in a constant state of stress and work. And now I'm always at work. My home is work. A vacation should become a vlog. Every TV show I watch and song I hear should be turned into some sort of content. Like, I shouldn't be relaxing right now, I should be making content, and it just isn't possible for me to turn that mindset off. And I realized this is not how I want to live any longer. And it's been enjoyable sometimes and extremely hard other times. But the ratio of like enjoyment to pain is somehow starting to tip over to the pain side way too heavily. So like over the years it just like builds up more and more. The other main reason is that I'm feeling a pretty big change in how the internet and online content works today compared to when I fell in love with it. Back when I went to school, I felt like and for years and years, like even when I started making these types of videos about 8 years ago, the internet was super different from what it is today. Short form videos have gone from being these like sort of rare little things to becoming just the standard with TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. But today it's definitely become an entire science. I feel like everything online is slowly converging towards the boring, bland, gray middle point where everyone just tries to maximize retention, views, and this metric and that statistic, which just leads everyone to like the same end product, and it's become beyond saturated. For me and my own creativity, I just don't enjoy where this is going. So after recovering from my Skrillex night, time for the food that I got last night for breakfast. They have an entire channel that plays Forensic Files episode after episode. I've watched like 30 episodes of Forensic Files. I love Poland. I finally managed to make my way outside. Beautiful Sunset Boulevard, Gdansk. And while pulling up to Hollywood, Gdansk, the highlight of my entire trip happened. So after taking my Uber to Bydgoszcz, I finally arrived at Universal Studios. I went to Krusty Land, stood in line, and then it was time for the Universal train. I actually managed to sit next to some dudes who recognized me from YouTube, and they were all working at Microsoft. Saad, if you're watching this, please leave a comment, thank you. I also had the great luck of sitting exactly where you get splashed by the most water legally allowed. Then, completely soaked, I made my way over to Super Nintendo World. Then I saw the Harry Potter place, and this, which made me immediately leave and go back to Gdansk. At Santa Gdansk Pier, Gdansk looks extra nice during the sunset. I actually bumped into a really nice viewer who came all the way from Chile. So it was probably extremely weird for him to see me there, of all places.
Just 100 racks on the touch, you know, no security, these cold ass niggas doing drugs.
Wow, truly a fantastic country, Poland. Tomorrow it's time to leave, so see ya. I took an Uber back home to watch more Forensic Files and eat extremely tasty foods.
That's a rare, life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection.
The next morning, I was extremely awkward at the private airport lounge.
Get for you off the menu.
Maybe later.
Sure.
I'll have it around.
Yeah.
Enjoy so much. And then I had a great flight back home. And since then, I've just been in my studio having post-Skrillex depression. I love you. By the way, do not play a very spooky evil tone when responding to no. So here's what the studio room looked like when I started renting it. I went to IKEA and bought a bunch of stuff, and now it looks like this. I actually have my YouTube award things up for the first time ever. I put this rug in and cut out the perfect shape for the walls. Professional perfection, Seth Everman. And I got this huge Samsung Odyssey screen, and I've got it set up so that I can plug my MacBook, PC, and PS5 into it at the same time, and like just switch between the sources. This button switches my mouse and keyboard between my PC and Mac, so I only need one of each, and the audio stuff is just complicated and annoying, but it works and goes into the speakers, instruments, little Nintendo items, other games and items. This table is tiny, but it folds out for all of my 0 friends. I'm supposed to put 2 foldable IKEA chairs in there, but they've literally been out of stock this entire year. Lots and lots of fake plants from IKEA. Cursed storage with like 5 cents that don't fit in the room. Also, little robot vacuum guy for my house. Arnold, and this little guy. Can I just quickly show you how beautiful my U2s is? The attention to detail is spectacular. He's literally playing a tiny little synth and sitting in my living room. Like he's literally, hold on. Like he's literally in my living room. You can't see that. He's available on U2s.com for a limited time, and once he sells out, he's gone forever. It's literally a small version of me that you can do anything you want with. Play with him, pet him, put him in a jar, etc. How has being the bald guy affected you mentally and sexually? Greatly. Do you have any career decisions you regret? Yes, very many. Never enough time. If you could have 1 extra day in the week, what would you name it? Steve. Is this like Unus Annus? I get the similarities, but no, we are not the same. I never had the chance to watch Unus Annus when it was happening, but I know that both Mark and Ethan are good, extremely tall creators, and from all I heard about Unus Annus, it seemed great. Their whole concept was to create videos for a year and then delete them, but they are both still around on the internet creating their own content and stuff. For me, it's the opposite. I'm gonna leave the internet, but my content is still gonna be here. How do I evade taxes? Is for my college project. Just run. Do you think you will miss being a YouTuber? I despise making YouTube videos, but I do enjoy all the nice comments and all the people I get to meet. Okay, so I'm making a really shitty website. Bald Store 69. Where does the humor come from? Brain. What is your favorite movie and TV show? I know it's Lord of the Rings and X-Files, but here you go. Lord of the Rings and X-Files. What's your go-to recipe when you're craving chicken in any way, shape, or form? Chicken. There is only 1 month until I leave YouTube and the internet forever. And even if I did post a video per day, which was a joke by the way, there still wouldn't be enough time to fully thank you guys for these years we've spent on YouTube. I leave the internet on November 27th, but on Sunday, November 26th, I'll be having a live stream until midnight when I go offline forever. So I hope to see you there, and until then, Bald Store. Like and subscribe.